This is for the woman everyone calls strong, but no one asks how heavy it feels. The woman who says, I'm fine, because explaining the truth would take too much energy. The woman who carries everything else but has no place to put her own tiredness. The woman who does not need another compliment about being strong. She needs somewhere safe to be real. So, this is for the woman who handles things, the woman who remembers things, the woman people come to when something needs to be done, the woman who keep functioning even when something inside her is quietly asking for a place to fall. And maybe you have been proud of that. I was too. I used to be proud of not needing help. But now I see that sometimes what looks like strength is actually a very old way of protecting ourselves. Because when you have learned that no one may catch you, you stop reaching. You become the one who holds. Today, I want to talk about the strong one, not because she's weak, but because she's tired. Type live, hashtag live if you're listening to this live, and type hashtag replay if you're watching the replay of this video. So, the first point I want to make today is that being strong, one, can become an identity, not just strength. At first, strength helps you survive. Later, it becomes a role you cannot step out from. And this happened to me. There is nothing wrong with being strong. Strength is beautiful, reliability is beautiful, resilience is beautiful, being able to show up for people is beautiful. But sometimes strength stops being something we have and becomes something we have to perform. We become the capable one, the calm one, the reliable one, the one who does not need much, the one who figures it out, the one who can take one more thing. And slowly, people stop asking what it costs you, not because they are cruel. Sometimes because it's usually because we train them to believe we are always okay. And because we stop telling the truth, even to ourselves. I remember standing at the sink washing the dishes while the children were screaming in the background. My whole body was tense. My breath was shallow. I felt like I was drowning, but I kept going, you know, drying the plates, answering questions, doing the next thing. And in my head, only sentence was just keep it together. And I did not realize then that I had confused survival with strength. Strength becomes heavy when it leaves no room for truth. And if you can relate to what I'm saying, just write hashtag strong in the comments. You see, the strong one often does not ask for help because needing feels unsafe. And that's my second point. Many strong women do not avoid help because they do not need it. They avoid help because needing has not felt safe back in the past, or they were thought it's not safe to ask. Most strong women are not strong because life was easy. Many became strong because at some point there was no other option. Maybe you were praised when you handle things quietly. Maybe you learn that pain made some people uncomfortable. Maybe you learned that needing too much created disappointment. Maybe love felt more available when you were useful, easy, responsible, or impressive. And so you adapt. You stopped asking, you stopped expecting, you stopped reacting, and then people started calling that strength. But underneath, it also can be grief, the grief of not being held, the grief of always having to understand everyone else, the grief of having to be mature, responsible, composed, and fine. I was sitting in my car one day with my hat on the steering wheel and thinking, I don't want to be strong today. I want to be held. And that sentence showed me something. It showed me that I had built a life where many people could lean on me, but I had not allowed myself to lean on anyone. And the strong one often does not need less support. She needs permission to stop pretending she does not need any. And real strength includes softness, honesty, and receiving. You know, softness is not the opposite of strength, it is what makes strength sustainable. Real strength is not the ability to endure in silence forever. That is not strength, that is survival. And real strength includes honesty. It sounds like, I'm tired. I cannot hold this alone. I need a moment. I do not have to answer right now. I need help. I'm not okay today. For so many women, those sentences feel more frightening than doing everything alone. Because doing everything alone is familiar. Receiving is vulnerable. Letting someone see the truth is vulnerable. But softness is not weakness. Softness is contact with yourself. For me, that shift started when I saw that the thought saying, be strong, you don't need, don't fall, don't be too much, were not the truth. They were thoughts, familiar thoughts, protective thoughts, even, but not commands, not the truth. And when I stopped treating those thoughts as rules, as truth, I could feel something softer underneath. I could notice what I wanted, not only what needed to be done. I could let tears come without swallowing them. I could be human without making it a failure. And you do not need a breakdown to qualify for support. And comment soft in the comments if you're ready for a version of strength that includes you too. And here's one question to take with you today. Where am I calling it strength when it is actually silence? Not to judge yourself, not to just to notice. Where am I carrying something that was never mine to be carried alone? And what is one small place where I could tell the truth a little more? Maybe not to everyone, maybe not dramatically, maybe just to one safe person, maybe just to yourself. And before I close, I want to leave you with this. You do not have to fall apart to deserve support. You do not have to carry everything perfectly before you are allowed to rest. You do not have to be strong on a strong one every minute of every day. And if you're tired of proving, carrying, achieving, and still feeling like somehow it is never enough, I have a free resource that can help you gently look in and at what may really be underneath that feeling. And if part of why you keep performing strength is fear of judgment, fear of being seen as weak, fear of disappointing people, fear that your needs make you too much, I also have a gentle $7 course that helps you begin releasing fear of judgment and shame. I'll put both links in the comments below. And if this conversation gave you a little exhale today, subscribe because I'm going live for 30 days and we're talking about confidence, clarity, self-trust, emotional safety, overgiving, exhaustion, perfectionism, guilt, and how to come home to yourself. But for today, I want you to remember this. You do not need to lose your strength. You just need a version of strength that does not abandon you. Thank you for being here and